How to lay out the cuts of your board. After you've cross-cut your 1 by 12 by 12 inches, you're going to need to lay out all your pieces. You're going to have one 5 by 5 for your base. You're going to have a 4 by 4 for your top. You're going to have a 3.5. You're going to actually have two 3.5 by 1s for your spacer, and your 12 by 1 for your slider. What I have here is my cross-cut 1 by 12, and it's actually not 12 inches wide. It's 11.25. There, you can just barely see it there, 11.25. When it's fresh cut lumber, it is 1 by 12, but after it's cured, it ends up being 3/4 by 11.5. So if you remember when we extruded everything to 0.75, that's its cured dimension. So I have a tool here called a tri-square. It helps make squared lines that are perpendicular to each other, and this is pretty helpful. I also have my ruler that's divided into 16ths. I'll start with the tri-square and I'll lay out my 5 by 5. So I know these numbers are kind of hard to see. I could actually take my ruler, which you would see better, and make a mark up here in the corner at 5 inches. And make a mark in the opposite corner at 5 inches. Then I can take my tri-square and I can mark out those lines for my base. So there's the 5 by 5 for my base. Let's go ahead and do the top. The top. It's going to be 4 by 4. I'm going to take my ruler, since you can see the numbers on that better. I'm going to mark out my 4 inches right here, and I'm also going to mark them out over here. We're not going to pay a lot of attention to saw kerf on this project because the bandsaw and the scroll saws have a pretty narrow blade, and that's what you're going to be cutting these with. So I'll use my tri-square to bring down that line, and I might have to set it on this other corner or this other edge to make my 4 by 4. It's very important that your lines are straight and square. So there's the base and the top. We can go ahead and lay out our spacers. Might do this down here on this edge, and I'm going to make a mark here at 1 inch. And I'm going to take my tri-square. I'm going to bring that all the way over to 7 inches. If you're wondering why 7 inches, well, each spacer is 3.5. And so if we go over this full length, we can get both our spacers out of there. I'll also extend this line out 7 inches. I'll make a little mark at 7 right there. And I'll make that mark to show the end. And then I need to make a mark in the middle at 3.5. So there's my 2 spacers. I'll do one more mark at 1 inch for my slider, and then I'll have a little material left over, which is good in case you mess up on any of your pieces, or if your friend messes up on any of their pieces, you're going to have some scrap to work with. This line does need to go all the way across, and the tri-square I'm using just isn't that long. So I'll carefully take a straight edge, and I'll mark that line all the way across. Pay close attention to keep these lines straight. Now this longer piece here for the slider, we could go ahead and rip that on the table saw as long as you're getting some help from me, because the table saw is kind of a big piece of machinery. Make sure I'm there to assist you. These other pieces here, the base, the top, and the two spacers can either be cut out on the bandsaw or the scroll saw. And again, this operation happens after you cross-cut your 12 inches of 1x12 using the miter box saw. So this is where we'll try and get in the next couple of class periods. Hopefully you get all your pieces cut out in a timely manner. We'll be talking about sanding. We'll also be talking about creating the hole in your top and creating the notch in your slider. So until next time, good luck.